Just about to be.
Are we live?
We are.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah, there's people there. There's people and everything.
Even better.
Yep. Okay, I'll start putting this on Facebook.
All right. Now let's see. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 that I have written down.
Okay, that seems like a lot.
Yeah, we'll see if we can get through at least most of them. Okay. Are we live on Facebook?
Working on it.
All right, cool. So I guess we'll just start, and then whenever we meet up with Facebook.
Absolutely.
All right, so
let's say something about this.
hi everybody, thanks for joining us today. We are doing a live class on animal masks. So what I'm going to start with is probably the most requested and also probably the easiest one, which is a tiger. Oh, let me grab a sponge. Okay, so we're gonna start with the tiger. And I think I did this one in the first live class that I did, but we'll just revisit it really quick. So the first thing you want to do, I use these Petal Sponges, and they come in a pack of, I believe, 6. And they're really good for butterflies, for tigers, for, you know, all kinds of designs that you can do, because the shape is just really nice for getting inside all these corners in here. So first I'm going to wet my sponge just a tiny bit and squeeze it all the way out, because you want it to be relatively dry for this, especially because I'm working on a practice board and these things tend to drip. So I'm going to get my Kraze palette and load the pointy end with yellow.
Yeah, we're live now on Facebook.
Awesome. Hi, Facebook.
Hi, everybody. It's Blake here.
Okay.
Live from New York.
Half is going to be orange. Okay, so you see how it gets a really nice gradient on the sponge? That's what you're looking for. So now you're gonna go to the forehead and you're gonna make like a V shape with your sponge. So you're gonna start all the way over here and you're gonna come probably to like cut the eyebrow in half all the way to the other side. So this is the area you're gonna fill in. And to fill in, you don't wanna swipe, you just wanna bounce it over and over and over and over again. And that's how you'll get the really blended gradient, just like that. You're gonna flip your sponge over. So now the pointy part is going inside towards the middle of the face. And you're gonna do the same thing, another V shape, but this time from the underside of the eye all the way to the side of the nose. You're gonna flip once again and do the other side. Right here.
So I should say, dear Lord, this is going to be a long evening. So anybody has any questions, please ask them either Facebook Live or in the on the webinar. Be happy to. I'll ask them for Kathy and get you some answers.
Yep. Bring on your question.
Bring them on.
Requests. Maybe they're on my list. If not, I can try to fit them in.
Okay, so what's on your list?
Okay, so on my list, I have a tiger / cheetah, because as I'll show you, they're almost exactly the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
A fox, a giraffe, a dog, a cat, a cow, a dinosaur, and an alligator.
Dear God.
Yeah.
All that in 1 hour.
We'll try.
¿Quién es más macho?
We'll try. Okay, so I'm gonna take a 1/2 inch, I believe. Yeah, 1/2 inch brush. And I'm gonna load it with white.
Yeah, Sophie thinks that's just too many.
We're ambitious over here at FacePaintcom.
You bet we are. That's what we live for.
Yep. So now we're gonna flick the ends of this brush just like that so that we get a nice hair-like texture at the edges. And you want your brush to be on the drier side so that you can get that kind of texture, because if it's wet, it'll drip more and it won't really give you this wispy effect. Okay, so we're gonna do the muzzle right over here. Usually I just cover the top lip. Sometimes I don't. Depends on how you're feeling that day. And we're going to add a little teeth over here. The kids really like the addition of teeth. So now I'm going to take a filbert brush. I'm gonna put my brushes over here to make it easier. This filbert I use for a lot of my heavier line work.
Oh, someone asked to enlarge the practice area, because I think what's happening is it's kind of on a vertical, and maybe if you turn it more horizontal and zoom it in a little bit more.
Okay, like this. Hold on. I don't know if I can zoom on.
Well, it's more that if you looked at it, you can't really see it, but imagine, yeah, okay, that's a little better. It's more like if you could turn the camera sideways, like do it 90 degrees.
Oh, okay. Like
actually, that doesn't make any difference. Forget it. The camera doesn't do that. It's not that kind of camera. So
here we go, wait. Hold on.
Oh, okay. I mean one square, LOL. I mean one square. Okay, yeah, I guess that's right. Oh, I see what you mean. Forget it. He's not talking to you, he's talking to me. And he told me to lose the speaker view. There we go. That's what you're looking for. Yep, got it.
Okay, so is this video good on my?
Looks heavenly.
Okay, perfect. All right, so now what I'm going to do is I'm gonna load this with black. And usually I do the nose first. And if this was a real person, this would be a lot easier. But I just make like 2 teardrops on either side of the nose, because a tiger nose doesn't really take up a lot of space like a dog nose would. So you just want the 2 ends to be a little bit higher than the middle. I'm gonna go down here and do the muzzle and bring in 2 teardrops right in those corners there. Now I'm gonna do the rest of the outlining, and you wanna make sure that everything you do here is thin, thick, and then thin again. Okay. I'm going to just outline the eyes here because we lost a little bit of the definition with the white. Usually I wouldn't do this on an actual child because they don't like the paint so close to their eyes, but just for viewing purposes. The teeth, you can outline the teeth or you can leave the teeth. It's all up to you. Usually I just leave them. All right, so now the shapes that we're making with the stripes are all gonna be thin, thick, and then thin again. And some of them are gonna turn corners like this, but just be aware that whatever you're doing, both ends should be thin. So for the top, I usually start in the middle come down and around. My brush is down. And one on the other side. Just like that. Now it doesn't have to be 100% vertical. Actually, I prefer that it doesn't look exactly the same on both sides. And we're gonna go, and I do 2 of them facing up and 1 of them coming down. Here we go.
Nice.
There's a tiger, and if I feel like there's any spaces that look a little empty, I'll come back with a tinier round brush and just fill in some areas with a few, strategically placed dots, just to fill in any, spaces that look like they're empty. Usually it's around the nose. Okay, so number 1, that's the tiger. All right, let me get rid of this.
Bye, tiger. Gilbert says that looks awesome.
Thank you.
Zuri gave a lot of emoticons. I'm not entirely sure what they all mean, but they look happy.
Awesome. Okay, so really quick, I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna do this one faster because you guys have already seen the tiger. Let me switch hands so you guys can see this better.
Since we got everybody here, I wanted to ask everybody a question. I was thinking about doing a social learning Facebook group on learning face painting. If you guys have an opinion on this, please add a comment. Thanks.
Yes, let's hear what you guys think about this.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so see, this is what happens when your paint is a little bit wet. You don't get that really feathery effect on the edges.
Ah, Wendy would love more tutorials. Karen says, I'm super excited to see you using a filbert brush.
I love filbert brushes. They have all of the precision of a chisel brush, but without all of the sharp edges. Okay. And I'm going to use my filbert again to do the cheetah stripes. I mean, spots. Okay, so there's 2 ways to do this. I'll show one here, which is basically you're just doing the shapes, like the outlines of the spots like that. That's one way to do the cheetah. And another way is to start off with, I'm going to use a brown, but you can make fun colors. You can do pink or purple or, however you're feeling. I'm going to use a brown. Oh, here we go. On a little round brush. And I'm going to make a bunch of like irregular dots here. And then I'm going to take my filbert and just kind of outline these dots. So you're making a bunch of like C's, O's, and dots to make these cheetah patterns. And they shouldn't all look the same. You want some to be completely covered. You want some to have just a tiny little bit of black. You want some to have the different spots of black. Just so that they all look different. Okay. So those are the 2 options you have for the spots. I'm going to see if we can do both and mix it up. I'm going to use purple for the inside. This should be fun. And as a general rule, you want them to be bigger the further you move out from the inside of the face. So we're gonna have bigger dots out here and then smaller ones as you come into the middle. Okay, so now I'm just gonna
Looks nice.
thank you.
I like the contrast of the what was that, pink? It's like a pinkish purple.
Purple, yeah, it's this color from the Kraze palette.
Okay, great.
Okay, so there we go. And so I'm mixing in some of the empty ones and some of the ones that are filled. Just so you guys can see. How they both look together. But usually I do one or the other. If I'm like running out of time and I want to do this really quick, then I'll do these up here. If I have a little bit of time, I want to be fancy, I'll do the ones down here. Okay, and then you always outline. You can do teeth on this one too. If you want to.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so that's the cheetah. It's basically really similar to the tiger. You're just adding whichever spots, you know, suit your design. Okay, another thing I also like to do with the cheetah and the tiger is to add some liquid bling, because it really makes your design pop. So I'm just adding it regularly to the insides of the little stripes I put there. I mean, sorry, the spots around the purple. The random areas over here. And the kids love that. Even the adults, everybody loves liquid bling. So that's the finished cheetah. And now let's move on to, let's do an alligator, because those are fun. And you don't usually see a lot of alligator masks being done. So I thought this one was really interesting.
Bye, cheetah. You're right, Zuri. Just we have to say goodbye to the cheetah.
So I'm loading it with this green split cake from the Kraze split cake palette. And this is the 1-inch chisel brush I'm using. So for the alligator, the first thing, I think we're gonna start with the nose. So
Stencils, good thought.
I'm gonna go back a little bit just so I can have some room to do that. And we're gonna come right over here. And this is the shape we're making, and I'm filling in the inside with just the other side of my brush. You could also use a sponge. This is a really nice droplet sponge. It looks like a beauty blender, but it's not. This one is specifically for face painting. I like this one for blending.
Kathy, you should also bring some stencils when we do this for the course.
Oh, stencil.
Yeah, that's a good thought.
Okay. Let's get some eyes. On this alligator. I'm going to reload my brush because it's getting a little bit dry. Oh, my phone is in the way. So I'm gonna move back just a little. Now we're just going to outline the eyes over here. You can come back and redo the lines on the inside if you start to lose them. And I'm going to fill in this area right here with some yellow on a sponge. So again, we're going to dab. Try not to get on the green too much on the nose area. And I'm just going to fill in this general area with some yellow. So that when we come over here, and this is going to be the mouth.
Okay. Yeah, Karen, we'll definitely do that. I mean, I think that's for additional stuff too. Animal mask, dinos, under the sea, adventure, superheroes, floral, crowns, etc. Also speeds. What speeds mean?
Okay, so here's the mouth. And I'm going to take a small round brush. This is a number 1. This one's really tiny. And when I'm doing animals, I like to do, it's hard to see, but the nostrils are right here. I like to use the nostrils of the person so that if you're up close, it doesn't look like they have 4 nostrils. So I'm just gonna build on top of the nostrils that the actual person has here. And then let's just keep outlining.
I see what you mean. So how to do fast designs. Okay, that's a good thought.
Yeah, I'm all about fast designs. Most of the stuff that you see in my videos are gonna be designs that you can do really quickly, because when I'm at work, I don't have the time to do those really like intricate, super awesome designs. So I have to make my designs look really good, but also just take a couple minutes. Okay, so we're gonna do some lines here. And this just gives the illusion that the nose is poking out a little bit farther than the rest of the face.
Mm-hmm.
I like to outline my eyes.
Yeah, step-by-step pictures would be great too, but I think it's mostly going to be videos because they're easier to follow. But we can always take pictures as well. That's a very friendly looking alligator.
It won't be, it won't be. Just give me 1 second. I'm gonna outline the eyes just because you're kind of losing them over the paint. On a real person, this isn't usually necessary. But just so that you can see better, because I'm working over a dark background. There we go, so we don't lose them too much. And then I'm gonna take white. Before I continue outlining the mouth, I'm gonna take a round brush. This is a number 5. And I'm gonna have some white in there. And I'm just gonna throw down a few teardrops over here for teeth. Because you can't have an alligator without teeth, right?
No chance.
Definitely not.
Nope.
Okay. And I really like how alligators' teeth, some of them go up and some go down. So we're going to put over here.
Vera really likes your nails.
Oh, thank you. I do them myself.
Actually, you draw on them?
Yeah, I do. It's a dip powder, so I sculpt the dip powder, and then I draw the, in this case, marble with some gold foil.
Wow. Okay.
Okay, here we go. And that's how you create the mouth. And I'm just gonna outline the teeth really quickly.
Vera says, wow.
Thank you. Okay. So my alligator has like a skinny little head over here. And when I did it on my daughter earlier, I didn't do that. I just wanted to see how it would look. So I like the way I did it earlier a little bit better. So I'm gonna just extend the green down over here.
Zuri says, that's cool.
Thank you. And now the things I like about split cakes is that you can just go over them a bunch of times to blend any issues you have. And they'll look, you know, as if you intended to do that, even if you make a little mistake. Okay, this is a little bit dark, so I'm gonna add some more yellow.
How much would you charge for this at a PPF event? What's a PPF event?
Ooh, a pay per face event.
Got it.
So that is tricky because everyone's market is a little bit different. So if like you're saying, if you're doing like a fair or a festival in like Ohio, it's probably going to be a little bit cheaper than doing one in Manhattan. So I would go by, I read this online like many years ago, that they said go by the price of beer. So if the beer that they're serving is super expensive, then you know that the people who came to the fair are ready to you know, to spend money. And you can go a little bit more expensive with your designs. If the beer is a little cheaper, then you know where to price your face paint so that you still, that people are still coming to you. You're still busy, but you're not going to be, you know, overpricing and losing out on potential clients. So if the beer is going for like $5, I'd say make that your median to like price and do like a level up and a level down. If the beer is going for like $2, you know that, you know, this is a slightly cheaper event and your face paint should, like your designs, should be a little bit simpler and you can charge a little bit less for them. Or
you could just be paid in beer.
Yeah, but beer doesn't pay your bills.
Depends how much you drink. Another question from Vera. Melissa. How do you keep your hand steady on a real client? Any tips? I always seem shaky.
I use my pinky. So like if you're seeing me drawing here, I'm gonna put a little bit of the dots around. I use my pinky like on their face to steady my hands. And I also hold the kid's head. So if I have a kid in front of me, excuse me, I'll just, you know, hand right on top of their head, just like this, so that when I'm painting, I can control where they're moving. And it makes it a lot easier because they're not like, oh, looking around crazy when you have like a good grip on the top of their head.
Okay.
So, here's my gator.
Yep. Gilbert does the same thing, hands with free hands on the top of the head and pinky for stabilizing. Everybody likes the beer thing. I think that's a universal favorite at this point, although I still think people should be paid in beer. But leaving that out, I think another question is, no, that's another question. Tricia said she loves the broader face. She wouldn't have thought of that. She thinks that's great.
Thank you. Yeah, a lot of people don't really, I suspect in Florida you might get a lot of requests for alligators since they're, so much more prevalent in Florida. But I'd like to offer things as soon as somebody sits in my chair, instead of just saying, oh, what do you want? Get your face painted. I'll offer them the stuff that I feel like doing that day. Or if I don't have a lot of time, I'll offer the things that I can do really quickly, so that those are the first things in their mind and they pick from what you chose for them instead of, oh, let me sit here for 10 minutes and think about, what I can do. And usually they come up with something completely like random or weird, or it's gonna take forever. Let's see what else. Let's do.
Vera said that she had alligator requests, but she was always afraid of doing it. So this gave her inspiration.
Oh, cool. Super cool. All right, so the next one I'm gonna do is also pretty easy. I'm gonna do a cat. And the cat I'm going to do is going to be pink. So I'm just gonna load up my 1-inch. So a lot of the face masks I do are a combination of 1-inch flat brushes and sponges, because the sponges help me to really blend everything I'm doing so that the edges of the paint, like over here, they melt into the face. So here we go. I'm gonna go up, rotate the brush a little bit and press down to create the ear shape. And then I'm gonna go right under here and do like a shaggy kind of outline. And I'm gonna use the same brush to come up and do the muzzle over here and just color this in with the white edge. Now in the middle, I don't have much of anything going on over here. Oh wait, I forgot the eyes. How do you remember the different stroke techniques and shapes for each mask? It's mostly practice, but you kind of like, you have an image in your mind of what you want to achieve, like what kind of design you want to do. And the brushwork just kind of takes from there. Because if you know the edges of your cat mask are going to be like scraggly like this, then you know you're going to have to move your brush to reflect that. Okay, and
someone asked, where did you get the practice mask? Practice wipe off with the face on them?
Oh, the practice board?
Yeah.
Oh, FacePaintcom, of course.
See, I knew that was going to be the right answer. Vera says, I've been doing cats wrong all along.
There's no wrong way.
She did this so quickly.
Yeah.
I'll get you the link.
All my designs are about speed. That's what we're here for. So hurry up.
Yeah, I think that makes an incredible, that's critical.
Yep. So we're gonna do the same steps as the cheetah and the tiger. Big muzzle. You're trying to bring it forward. Anything that's big and white down here will help bring that forward. Okay. So here we go. Outlining the ears and the top of the head. Okay. Here.
Thanks, Melissa. I appreciate that. She says we have the best shipping ever. God, we do. The warehouse will be thrilled to hear that. Vera asked what state you are in.
New York.
New York. That's where I am too.
Yep.
We live across a bridge from one another.
That we just found out today.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna use white just to outline the eye area because I don't want to go too heavy on the top of the eyes. And it makes more sense if this was a real person. You can see it would be a little bit below the eyebrows. So the eyebrow on a real person would be like right over here in this area. And this line would go right underneath.
An Ohio person.
Cool, I've never been to Ohio.
I have.
Did you like it?
I was in Cleveland. It actually was it was a good time. I saw some friends. It was lovely.
Nice. Okay, so here we go. Here's the cat mask. Whiskers are optional. You can do them or not. Depends on, you know, how you feel. If you're gonna do them, use a skinny brush so you don't get super thick lines like this one I have right here. You want them to look more like this one over here. So there's a cat mask.
We've got two people from Pennsylvania watching this. One person from Buffalo, one person from Boston.
Oh, wow, we're all over today.
We're all over.
Cool. All right, let's see. Alligator check. Tiger cheetah check. Cat check. Should we do a dog? Let's do a dog.
You can't go wrong with the dog.
Yeah.
Georgia as well.
Ooh, I've only been to Georgia driving through to go to Florida.
Georgia's lovely. Wisconsin, nice. Chicago.
Oh man, I was in Chicago once. It was the worst cold I have ever experienced.
Yeah, it blows cold. Although global warming's helping them out there. Couple Texans. Alberta, my God, a Canadian.
I'd love to go to Texas. Can somebody from Texas just send me a private jet, please?
Because all people in Texas have private jets?
I mean, send me a horse. Is that what you guys? I would.
No, I think you're more likely to get a private jet than a horse, but it's something. So Gilbert was looking for a great wolf. Do you have a great wolf?
Ooh, a wolf. Let's see. We can do this dog to look kind of like a wolf. Let's try that.
Okay. We'll do a wolf dog for you. Kind of a coyote-esque.
Yeah, there you go. So it's going to be really similar to the cat in the way that it starts out. Oh, hold on.
Northern California, British Columbia. Or another Georgian.
Nice. Okay, this is really going to test my skills because I usually have a picture of like a clip art or a cartoon of some kind in front of me so I can see what I'm doing. So today we're going to figure this out. So wolves usually have like narrow, long snouts. So what I'm going to do is...
Oh, actually, Gilbert, what he meant was, I mean, her cat could be a wolf with gray and black paint.
Oh, yeah, totally.
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
So just go back to the dog.
All right, so we're going to do different ears on the dog then, because I was planning on doing a fluffy-eared dog.
Do a fluffy-eared dog. Yeah, sorry, I know you're in New Jersey. Melissa asks, how long you been painting? You're so good.
I've been painting probably since I was 16. So that would make just over 10 years.
Okay.
Professionally though, since I was 9, so like 8 maybe years. I was 19 when I started painting professionally.
Terrific.
Okay, so we're gonna make a super big muzzle here for our dog.
Marilyn said that she's a newbie, but no shame in that. Everybody's got to start somewhere. That's what these courses are for. This is not, you know, it's always good to learn new designs, but it takes a while to learn. It's just practice and getting started.
Lots of practice. If you can go to like a local park and offer free face painting to the kids there, you'll really get a good handle on the squirmers and the young ones who don't like to sit still, or the indecisive kids. And if you can paint at a park, then you can paint anywhere. So I don't know, you guys can probably see this here. This is what happens when your sponge is too wet. And usually on a person's face, it'll absorb a little bit of the moisture you're using, but since I'm working on a plastic practice board, it doesn't absorb as much of the liquid. So I have to be really careful and use a super dry sponge in order to get the desired effect here. And my sponge is not very dry, so that's why you're seeing all this spotty paint.
Now, we got Northern New York and Bogota, Colombia, which I've actually been dying to go to. One question came in from Benjamin. How many brushes is it ideal to have?
I'd say you want to kind of go for at least 2 or 3 of these, the 1 inch. I'd say 2 or 3 of the 1/2 inch. And this is if you're using like split cakes like these. Definitely a couple of round brushes in different sizes. You want some like thicker ones, some thinner ones, like these. Definitely have at least 2, 1 for black, 1 for white for the outlining. Have a couple of bigger ones, like a size 4. A few filberts like this. So I'd say like 12 to 15 brushes is like a good starting area. But me personally, I have a whole lot, many more than I should, because I like to keep my kit really downsized and easy to travel with. So I should probably get rid of a few of my brushes.
Welcome, Costa Rica, and somebody in the UK. So we have an international group. Vera asked, do you ever hate practicing on a board? I have one, hate painting on it. Any tricks? Does it get better? She has a touch.
What do you hate painting? What do you hate about it? That would be a good place to start, because painting on a board is not very easy, especially if you're doing things that are easier to do on skin, like the drop flowers are like a million times easier to do on skin than on a board, because you're counting on the little bit of give that you have here to help shape your petals. So that's a lot easier. Usually I just use my arm for that. But the board, like with the sponges, have to be extra dry. So you need like a little practice working on the board.
I hate the way the brush slips and my lines don't look clean as they do on skin.
I haven't noticed that they slip too much, but try using a little bit less water. Like try to make everything a little bit drier, because the practice boards, they're not very forgiving with like excess moisture.
What's the brand for the black sponge?
Wow. I'm not sure. I bought it a long time ago.
I mean, we carry a couple of black sponges. So I'll just give you the link that we have on FacePaintcom. But there's others. There's a million of them.
Yeah, it was, I think I saw it in like a Facebook ad or Instagram ad or something.
Superstar's got one. Krivaline has them. Krivaline's got a couple. Maron's got one. Here's a link on the sponges.
So what you're looking for this sponge, it should be round all the way. Ooh. One side pointy and one side flat, just like a beauty blender. Exactly the same shape as a beauty blender, but it's for face paint. It's made of a different material. It's made of closer, this kind of material, the same foam that the teardrop sponges are made of.
Yeah, yeah. Justin's got one like that that we sell.
Yeah, so just try out those brands. Okay, so now I'm just adding a couple of spots to give my dog a little bit of character.
Some mats are definitely not the same as other brands. I'm not sure what that means.
I think she means the practice mats.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, that's right. No, that's Gilbert that was talking.
Oh, sorry, he.
Was that the Kraze palette? I wanted to see some swatches.
Oh yeah, this is the Kraze palette, both of them.
Yeah. I think we have swatches on the Kraze. Hopefully we have swatches on the Kraze website. If I don't, I'm gonna make sure that we do.
All right, so here's a dog, really simple dog.
Hello, Ireland.
Something that you can finish, you know, in like 2 minutes, 3 minutes. Let's do.
I see. That's a great idea, Gilbert. Gilbert uses cheap Dollar General cutting boards as practice mats, and some he's seen that look legit like skin. It's a great idea.
Oh, that's pretty cool. What I use when I'm training, like at my other job, training the entertainers at Blue Balloon, we use mannequin heads, which makes it a little bit easier to get because you have the whole shape of the face with like it's a head, like it's a 3D head. So you get to practice on like how the eye goes in, the nose comes out, the lips come out, and the roundness of the face. That makes it a little bit easier. But it's similar to that it doesn't have any give with the moisture with like the flower petals.
Mm-hmm. Oh, here's some swatches for you. Oddly enough, not on the website, but it's on one of the websites.
All right, so here, let's start, that should be about the middle, right?
Copy paper absorbs water well. Okay.
I've never tried copy paper to practice on.
Thanks, Gilbert. I appreciate you. The plug for Kraze. It's knocking out Diamond and Maron, huh? Well, that's good news. Fusion paint? Yeah. Well, no. This is all Kraze face paint, but yeah, Fusion's a great brand.
I'm gonna load up some yellow in my the sponge. I don't know what it's called. And I'm kind of getting a shape here. Look really carefully. That's why I like this sponge, because of you can get more precise corners with it. I'm just filling in this area.
Benjamin requested a spider, but I think we're doing more animals today, Benjamin.
Yeah, I'm not sure I've ever seen a full face spider, like a mask.
Yeah.
That'd be a little tricky.
That would be.
I'm sure you could probably do like an octopus. You put it over one eye and have like the legs coming down over the sides of the face. That might be a way to do it.
Oh, there's sort of a shadow over the board.
I think it's my phone, the camera.
Okay.
Let's see. No.
Yeah.
The phone is.
Or it's changed the light.
Losing the. Oh wait, hold on a second. I might be able to fix that. There we go.
Okay, that better? Sonia? What the heck was that?
The doorbell. Got a lot of people coming in and out.
Okay.
So.
Thanks.
So I hope that got rid of the shadow a little bit.
Yeah, it's better.
Okay, cool. So we're gonna put a horn here, and if you haven't already guessed, we're doing a dinosaur, a triceratops. Here we're gonna put another horn right up here on the left side. And you would wait for your paint to dry before you did this. Mine's gonna be damp. Because painting on a practice board takes a while longer for the paint to dry. All right, so now all that's left basically is to outline. Oh, we lost the eyes. Let me get the eyes back real quick. There we go. So I'm going to outline this area first. And they have kind of like a beak kind of shape. If you look at like pictures of triceratopses.
Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of what we're doing down here. And then we're going to outline this bony plate they have in the back of their heads, on the top of their heads. And here we're gonna outline
Yeah, Gilbert, I've seen the practice heads. He says that Mark Reed came out with a practice head, but they're pretty expensive. I think that's true. I think there are practice heads out there. I think we even sell one, or we used to.
the ones that they use for, I think they use them for, it might be maybe a wig head, maybe. I'm not sure.
Mm-hmm. It's kind of I'll go find it. Kathy, I haven't really asked you this, but when are we doing this again?
2 weeks.
Mm-hmm. I got something. I got one scheduled on Monday too, so we could, I guess, do 2 in a week. I could do 2 in a week.
Okay,
So
on Monday.
So on the 23rd, we're going to have Beth McKinney go doing cartoon designs.
Awesome.
I know that. I know you're not crazy about cartoon designs.
Yeah, I'm sure not.
Yeah. So 2 weeks from now, we'll do. So what are we doing?
Let's do. What day is that?
25th is a Wednesday.
Oh, it'll be the 25th. Okay.
That's 2 weeks from now, isn't it?
I don't know. I don't have a calendar. I'm really bad with like dates and stuff. Let's do. Why don't we do like superheroes?
Superheroes. Okay, we'll do superheroes.
Like I get a lot of requests for superheroes, like Spider-Man, Batman, PJ Masks.
Okay.
The Flash, Captain America, stuff like that. So we'll try to come up with a few of those for you guys.
Oh, a couple other comments. Vera, next Monday, I'm not sure what you're asking. I apologize. Do the videos become available somewhere? Yeah. So we're going to post this right afterwards, so you can watch it again on the feed on our Facebook page. So Karen, you can see that there. And Carla, I hope I pronounced that correctly. You can go to a cosmetology school and ask for a mannequin head to practice, which sounds like a really freaking great tip.
Yep, there you go. That's what we use at for training. And they have their issues, but I think it's a little bit easier to do it than on the practice boards, because sometimes your designs don't translate onto a real person as you thought they would, because on a practice board you don't have the actual planes of the face. So there's things that you couldn't have anticipated when doing it on an actual person that would have been better anticipated from an actual 3D like face.
Gilbert says everyone complains the head stain badly, but he sticks with maps. But his heads, though, I've seen him demo them and they wipe right off.
Yeah, red is a really difficult color to get out of the heads. You can always bleach them, but I mean, there's only so much you can take off. Okay, so here we have a few highlights. And there's a really simple dinosaur triceratop mask.
Cool. Well, I think we have, let me see if I can find the heads, practice heads.
We have time for like one more. Let's do a giraffe.
Okay, fine. We can do a giraffe. No, we do not have the practice heads. Oh, that's a good idea, Gilbert. Try coconut oil and magic eraser for difficult stains, y'all. You know, we should talk about the word y'all. You know, there is just no Northeastern equivalent of the word y'all. There is you all and you guys and you ones. I mean, y'all is just such a better word.
I say y'all all the time.
Yeah, because what else are you going to say? You guys, you people, you, and just you and you. You
individuals.
You individuals. I mean, how do you say that?
Okay. So we're going to start with the ears here. I'm just filling in this empty space. And then we're going to do the shape of the forehead. It's kind of like a hill-ish.
Oh, Benjamin asked for a Halloween one.
Oh yeah, that's gonna be the one after the next one.
Okay.
The first, kind of like right in the beginning of October.
Yeah, and I've got, so the upcoming ones are, Beth McKinney's gonna be doing it on September 23rd at 5 o'clock. So, sorry, 5:30, because we have to do it a little earlier. And Kathy will be doing superhero designs at 6 o'clock on the 25th. And Yi, I don't know. I don't know about Yi. And then, and Zuri is going to be doing on October 1st, she's going to be doing eye designs. So.
Oh, nice. Those are my favorites.
Yeah. So there's some question about the word use, and
use, that's real Brooklyn.
no, it's also Pennsylvania. Pennsylvania's big into use. Yeah, use guys, use going over there. But you're right, that is Brooklyn. Now I think about it. And then Eileen says ye.
Ye?
Why ye?
Like, come all ye faithful?
I guess. Yeah, exactly.
Huh.
So how ye doing? I guess that sounds a little archaic to me, but maybe I'm wrong. Yeah, we'll be sending out, Bridget, we'll be sending out an email on all these things. So we'll give you like some advance notice on that. And in Pittsburgh, it's yins. Really, yins?
Yins.
How's yins doing? I can't even do that right.
How's yins doing? Oh.
Yeah, I think so at this point we just have to stick with y'all. Because I think y'all we should just stop trying to come up with other variations on it.
Dry this a little bit. Because these practice boards take forever to dry.
How are ye? How are ye? God, on the other hand, it kind of sounds really, it's nice and short. I'll say that for it. It's really funny when you do that on the camera.
Yeah.
It just kind of flashes at you and you get scared.
Oh, my bad. Okay, so these would look a lot neater if my paint wasn't so wet underneath. But you guys could use your imagination. You know what giraffe spots look like. They're kind of a little more geometric than like a cheetah spots would be. So we're just gonna stick a few of those in there. And then it's just all about the outline.
Great.
Okay, so.
I like the idea of a Halloween designs too. I think that's a good one to do.
Yeah, Halloween is my favorite and busiest holiday.
Yeah.
Okay, outlining.
Wendy says she really likes the fact that you're painting the spots on your designs instead of you just using stencils.
Yeah, I'm not a huge stencil user because you have to have this area that you're doing underneath completely dry. And as you can see, I don't always have that luxury. So stencils take a little bit more time. You do save time with certain things, but they also, you have to wait for a lot of stuff to dry. So it's kind of like a trade-off. You have to decide which one would be faster. So here's a super easy giraffe. And like that's basically it.
Okay, awesome. Thank you very much, Kathy. Okay. And thank you all for coming. Really appreciate it. Appreciate your time. And we'll have Beth coming up in a week and a half, and we'll send out emails all this. And Kathy will be here on the 25th, and Azuri will be here on the 1st. So we're going to get a regular, we're going to try to do this every week. So it should be good.
Nice.
Okay, thank you much, and have a good evening. And well, keep face painting. And I should do one final pitch in terms of well, sell stuff. So we have on FacePaint.com, there is a 25% off deal on Kraze face paints if you go there. Nice. So yeah, so you get 25% off this wonderful face paint that you just saw. So I will give you a link to FacePaint.com.
You guys want to see them again?
Yeah, there you go. That's the regular palette. And there's the split cake palette, which we're desperately running out of.
Oh no. That was my favorite.
So Bridget says thank you. Wendy says thank you. Alma says thank you. So thank you all.
Thank you guys for joining us. See you next time.
Okay, great. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.